give you a bit of news here. According to the Wall Street Journal, a group of investors led by Elon Musk is offering just over $97 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls OpenAI. And the Journal says this ups the stakes in his battle with Sam Altman over the company, OpenAI, which of course is behind ChatGPT. Let's stick with stocks of interest and stocks on the move. We're joined by Bloomberg's Stephanie Hughes. Stephanie, you have your eye on TD, and great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, always great to see you too, Andy. So yeah, I'm looking at TD. Today, that stock soared as much as, soared by nearly 4% at its highest point today. That was the biggest intraday jump in almost a month there. And it brought the stock price back up to its highest level since October. So it's clawing back a few months worth of gains there. And that's because the Canadian bank says it plans to sell its entire equity investment in the Charles Schwab stake it had through a secondary stock offering. It really hopes to, or expects to raise about $14 billion in that process. So this is part of TD's corporate overhaul after that historic U.S. anti-money laundering settlement that it had late last year. And I remember you and I, Andy, talking about this in the studio when that settlement happened and that stock price really dropped there. So it also marks the first major move by the new CEO, Raymond Chun, who took over the role from Bharat Masrani earlier this month. That was a couple of months ahead of schedule. Before that was actually, that transition was supposed to happen. So looking at the analyst reaction here, BMO Capital Markets said that while the share buyback will help offset part of the lost future earnings, what the bank does with the balance of the proceeds from the sale will really just be just as important here. So this is on the same day that TD is gaining here. Shares of Schwab are falling by over 3%. So it's a really interesting day, and it looks like it's there's something of a clean slating for TD here, Andy.
And MDA Space is on your radar as well.
Yeah, that really got a pop today. So MDA Space shares gained by as much as 15%. That was the top TSX performer and the biggest jump since August. And MDA Space, which is a company that deals with robotics and satellite technology, it said it signed a contract with Globalstar worth about $1.1 billion and will be the prime contractor for the satellite operator's next generation low orbit constellation for Earth. It sounds very Star Trek-y, but it's very interesting to see that infrastructure play out. So analysts have taken this deal as a positive, with BMO Capital Markets saying that the mystery customer being revealed as Globalstar and Apple is incrementally positive. They also like the size of the contract, saying that they see the potential for significantly larger follow-up on revenue there for MDA over the longer term. So it's not just a today thing, Andy. They're seeing this being beneficial over the next few years. So Citi analyst Jason Gursky said he views this as a good sign after there's been some recent stock sell-off, and that happened on concerns that Apple was working with Starlink, and the future of Globalstar was that Globalstar constellation was kind of in doubt there. So seems like that has been averted, and the news has been good, and we're seeing that reflected in shares of MDA Space today there, Andy.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. And right on cue, let's talk to the guy who runs MDA Space. It's always great to